be banned. I understand if a parent doesn't want their child to read something because they're too young necessarily, but I think that you should be able to read what you want to read, and especially in the internet age, like, you'll be able to find it anyway. So you might as well just be able to get it at your public library and read it in a safe space.
I do not believe that books should be banned, because when you ban books, it just feels like it's very censoring of creativity. When you're sitting there and writing a book, you always have to think about like these rules and guidelines. Oh, like, I can't write about this and I can't write about that, and that is not fair. When it comes to banning books, I just feel like it should be a subject in which if there's a book that someone thinks is violent or grotesque, there should be a rating on it. Like there's a rating on movies and like there's a rating on video games. I don't think it should be banned entirely, but definitely inform people of what they're going to read.
I don't think they should be banned at all. If a book is more mature, I think it should go in a more mature section, but it shouldn't be removed from a library or a bookstore.
It depends on the book. Certain books have context that's inappropriate in some settings or towards certain groups of people. So challenging a book, there's no problem with that because that's a natural thing to do. However, banning books completely isn't the right thing to do, because one, that just limits humans from gaining more knowledge, especially from the darker things that we tend to avoid, and also because you just don't have to read the book. If you don't like the book, no one's forcing you to read it. There's no obligation to read the book.
Well, usually they don't seem to be banned for any particular good reason, so they're pretty much just as harmless as any other book, really.
The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's a great book and it's an American classic, and I think there are so many banned books that are American classics that, like, you have to read these books.
Lord of the Flies. I love this book so much. This book was very real for me because it gave a very uncensored perspective of humanity. Like Golden, he didn't hold back, but it was a very good book for like self-reflection.
Persepolis. It was kind of a strange thing to ban because there wasn't much that was offensive in it. What was reported for being offensive was the language and violence, but it's almost kid-friendly. I mean, it's through the eyes of a kid explaining what it was like back in like the 1970s of Iran.
I think it was because the author, he was my age when this was going on for him, and the Holocaust and World War II in itself was very traumatic, from genocide to gassing, and how the author lost his loved ones. And also he saw very traumatic things that really plays into the theme loss of innocence. It's disappointing how it was challenged because I feel as if it's disrespectful towards the author, especially when he lost his family and the situation.
1984 by George Orwell. Yeah, so probably more relevant today given that government mass surveillance seems to be a pretty commonplace thing, but certainly not on the level of 1984.
I still think that you should be able to read what you want. It's right to disagree with things as long as your disagreement shouldn't impede someone from doing something that they want to do. And I believe that in pretty much all things.
Just because like you may not agree with the message, it doesn't mean the message still shouldn't be said.
I guess if you wanted to ban a book, you have to know the facts and actually read the book. You have to read up about the author and see if this is something that you should think doesn't belong.
I just don't understand why you are challenging it, unless it's offensive to to you personally, then even if that's the case, you just don't have to read the book, period. There's not an obligation as to reading the book. It's not mandatory.
I would say that you're probably mostly just wasting your time at this point in society, because we live in a world where pretty much the entire sum of human history is accessible in some way, shape, or form online. And if you are able to read the book to have a problem with it, then it means that someone else was probably able to read and copy down the book. And if somebody really wanted to read that book, they would be able to. So it's probably just not worth the time, money, or energy to try and do it.
If someone told me, I'm going to challenge whatever book, I'd be like, why don't you try reading the book first?